Canada is a vast country that stretches for thousands of miles. Our focus today falls in the westernmost province, British Columbia, more specifically the urban center of Langley. One small gem that can be found within the bustle of city life here is Trinity Western University. Students come here from far and wide to obtain a liberal arts education. Today we will be following the life of a single student and discovering just how studious he is. As we take a closer look at the room of this student, it is easy to see that hygiene is of no concern to him. Both his roommate and himself have come to an agreement that their room should be messy. Laziness is a contagious trait among students. As we can see here, both of these students are sleeping well into the day. Like most students, this one prizes sleep above everything else. He repeatedly hits snooze on his alarm in order to trick himself into thinking that he does not need to get up. He eventually decides that he needs to get out of bed to go to class, and he does so in a slothful manner. The first thing on this man's mind after he gets out of bed is to find a source of energy. His preference is coffee. He knows of a place not far from his dorm room that gives out free coffee, so he makes his way to Trusa. Now that our student can think straight, he casually walks to class. Upon arriving at his classroom, he realizes the consequences of hitting his snooze button so many times. He has missed his entire class. Unfazed, this student decides to find some breakfast. Arriving at the cafeteria, he discovers, to his disappointment, that not only has he missed breakfast, but he has in fact missed lunch. He will have to wait until the cafeteria opens for supper. Hungry and sad, the student goes back to his dorm, where he entertains himself with video games. This is where our student spends the majority of his time. After hours of intense focus on winning, this student is tired. He still has not eaten anything, and he has very little energy. He decides to take a well-deserved nap. Rejuvenated by his nap, the student makes his way to the cafeteria. Finding it open, he starts to gather some food. The choices are limited, so he takes what he can find. Sitting down to eat, the man takes his first bite of food for the day. He is extremely hungry, and yet neither the texture nor the flavor of the food satisfies him. After eating his meal out of sheer necessity, the student remembers something. He has a 15-page paper due the very next day, a paper that he has not even begun to write. He works feverishly into the night, letting nothing distract him. His mind works at incredible speeds. His body is exerting extreme amounts of energy, and by the time he has finished half of his paper, his will to stay awake is completely lost. He falls asleep at his desk, where he will remain unconscious, dreaming about his immensely exhausting day.